but you come at the insurance issue from a very different angle.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the research that you've been doing in relation to insurance and ensuring those involved, the scientists involved in developing renewable energy.
Yeah, insurance industry certainly is the industry affected most by global warming, because we have to pay for increasing losses of storms, of floods, and this has been the reason why already in the 1970s we have started to analyze potential effects of global warming onto our portfolio. We have made a publication addressing climate change, and this has been for the first time in industry in 1973. And since then, we have built up expertise in the research and analysis of natural disasters. And we have found that since the 1970s, we see almost in all regions increasing intensities and frequencies of weather-related natural catastrophes.
Is a temptation in the insurance industry simply not to insure those kind of areas if they're likely to be affected by climate change, weather conditions, or do you still want to be involved?
Yeah, this is part of our business. These risks are part of the business, especially of the big reinsurers like Munich Re, and we want to insure these risks, and we think we still can insure them. The problem is, however, that if the hazard increases, we also have to increase our premiums. It's still small increases that are necessary, but if climate change would go to a phase of tipping points or similar things, then things may become uninsurable.
Those working on the engineering side, trying to develop renewable energy sources, mechanisms, they also need protection. How do you work with them?
Yeah, definitely. We see renewable energies as part of the solution of the problem, because if we would succeed to switch to renewable energies all over the globe quickly, then this would replace fossil fuels, and so we would get reductions of CO2 emissions even without a global agreement. So what we are trying is to push to support renewable energies, and we think with our core business we can do that by providing custom-made insurance solutions for investors into solar or wind power or geothermal power. And we have, for example, developed quite innovative products like delivery guarantees for solar and wind, which means that in a season with less wind than on average or projected, or less sunshine, the investor gets some money out of this policy. We have also developed a policy on covering premature aging of solar cells. So we can give a guarantee for 20, in one case even 25 years to the investor that there will be a certain efficiency of the solar cells still after 20 or 25 years.
Right. So to boil it down to its fundamentals, if somebody working on wind energy, if there isn't enough wind, and obviously we can't dictate, we can't control how much wind there is,
no,
that can be insured against?
That can be insured because the wind patterns follow some long-term statistics, and if we have the data, and in most areas we have good meteorological data, we can calculate the probability of such a season with less wind, and we can insure that, certainly, yes.
And you're working on what sounds like a very exciting project, Desertec, in the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, right. This is really
So
our largest project in the field of renewable energies. We have started that 2 years ago. It's based on a vision of a section of the Club of Rome to provide renewable energies out of Northern African deserts for Northern African countries and Europe. So we want to link Europe with a new grid to Northern Africa and build large, especially solar power plants there. We have come quite far in the last 2 years. We have founded a company which is called Desertec Industrial Initiative, which has 21 shareholders, companies like Siemens, Deutsche Bank, really big players being part of that, 35 international companies supporting that, and hopefully, and there's quite some chance that we can start the building of a large solar power plant in Morocco next year.
And that would service the energy needs for a large part of North and Central Africa,
yes,
would it?
Yes, the main target is first to provide the energy for the Northern African countries. They need it desperately. They have high population growth and their economy is growing, so they need more energy. And if we can fill this energy gap by renewable energy and not by fossil energy, this helps to fight climate change a lot.